Yeah, well, I was going to talk about the politics first.
Yes.
The political side is clearly critically important. It is the driver of the change. But you need the private sector to come along on that journey. Now, as an example, about 18 months ago, the Swiss pension fund regulator changed the asset allocation model to allow 15% of a portfolio to be allocated to infrastructure. And I wonder how many pension funds in Switzerland are now fully invested at 15% in infrastructure. I doubt it's very many. So the private sector is where the money's going to come from to decarbonise in terms of the E here. But you're right in terms of there's the S and the G on this as well. And the financial sector, I think, has to set more of a leading light in this. But there's another side to this.
Can you hang on for a second?
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to hand over the mic to Dominique. 15%.
Well, I think, maybe I have to clarify a little things as well. Obviously, Swiss pension funds could always invest more than what they were sort of on paper allowed to invest. They just had to declare that they do so and that they do so competently. So now it's just possible without having to declare that they do so competently in a way. So
it's a bit of a nudge.
So exactly. But it's obviously a bit of a motivation to enter the infrastructure space. And I think we are at 5%, so we are still lower than that. But we have about 20% in alternative investments, which means basically private equity and private debt. So we are there where not many pension funds in Switzerland are, because most are still stuck with bonds and things that lose money on a persistent basis. So in that sense, I think we play a role in the transformation. I think we also have to invest for return purposes, because returns are to be found in illiquid, in attractive areas. Venture we cannot do because of the duty to our beneficiaries, risk aspects. But there, I think blended finance might be a solution, where actually a first loss is taken by, someone else, basically. So I think that would be an approach to engage more in venture space and in providing solutions. And on politics, obviously, I have a clear view that we need politics to actually impose things, because otherwise nothing will change.
Well, just to add on the politics, because there was a good point that this gentleman made about should it be, shall we say, liberal or less liberal? Yeah. And you're going to see clearly a lot of regional differences here. The European Union has come out with SFDR, and there's all sorts of other initiatives going out there. But there's a key element here that I think all of us need to go away today and think about this for the future. Because we're all looking at this ESG thing in the context of today. But if you take my 13-year-old daughter, she goes to school and every week she has lessons about ethics and ESG. So that whole generation is learning and absorbing and embracing this at a completely different level to perhaps what many of us did. And so the point here is that most of your customers who are going to inherit all of that wealth over the next 20 years are going to be incredibly more demanding and insistent that they have more ESG transparency and investment in their portfolio. I think that's a really critical part for the future.